We're now going to look at Unit 9, Lesson 1. And because this is a new unit, we're going to look at the big picture, the UBD, the simplified scale, and the scope and sequence. So let's start off with our big picture. If you'll notice, we're now into the third 9 weeks, starting on week 2. Here I have highlighted in green and bolded Lesson 1, which we'll begin with. Intro to one-step equations through manipulatives. And then throughout the rest of day 3, we're also going to cover lesson 5 from equations to inequalities and introductions to inequalities, and then wrap up day 3 with understanding independent and dependent variables. Let's now look at our UBD. We have listed first our goals, and those are the new math course of study standards from the state of Alabama listed there for you. The meaning, you have your understandings, which the students will understand, having wrapped up this unit, or this unit. And then you have your essential questions, and those are questions you can ask throughout the unit. Moving on down to our acquisition, students will know by the conclusion of this unit these bulleted items here, and here are the skills that they will be able to do by the end of Unit 9. Looking now at our cover page or our simplified scale, you'll see this is Math 6, Unit 9, one variable equations and inequalities. It's 14 days of instruction plus assessment time for a total of 17 days. Here you have the vocabulary, and this is a lot of new vocabulary for students, so make sure that they're seeing this a lot throughout the unit. Then we move down to our concept checklist. We have our self-assessments, your 4s, who can teach someone, your 3s who can do it on their own, your 2s who still need a little bit of assistance, and your 1s that are just not there yet. Okay, looking specifically at lesson number 1, notice that it is on the first day, and the kid-friendly I can statements are: use manipulatives to investigate and develop an understanding of solving one-step equations, and informally discover the rules for solving one-step equations. So moving on, let's look at our scope and sequence. Again, at the top of your scope and sequence, you'll find the unit and the name, the number of days of instruction plus assessment time for a total of 17 days. Pause your video for just a moment and read through this unit note. Now looking at your Alabama course of study, your teacher note, and keep in mind the teacher note is different from that of the unit note. The unit note gives you a broad understanding of what the students are going to learn throughout the unit. The teacher note is specific for this lesson. You've got your prerequisites. Again, there, if you see some students struggling with these prerequisites, pull those in the bell ringers or in your exit slips. Then you've got your materials needed and your additional support and resources, followed by presentation strategies. So here's what we're going to focus on today in training. We're going to start by showing the video with one-step equations. We're going to provide students with an equations mat, pawns to use for money bags, and 2 color counters for the coins. This activity provides the students with a conceptual understanding of one-step equations while using manipulatives. Students can see how the answer is obtained before the actual work starts. Practice several problems with the students to build a foundation of understanding one-step equations. Now, because we're virtually this year and not one-on-one, this will be altered just a little bit for training purposes, but you'll be able to see it done virtually, and then also you have the presentation strategy here for it to be done one-on-one or in a classroom. Also, you have calculator tips here. And this says just be sure to allow students to practice with calculator, as they are allowed to use calculator on this on the ACAP for this questions pertaining to the standard. Now, those things tend to change from year to year, and we're not certain, but as of now, we know that they are able to use the calculator on questions pertaining to this unit.